Okay, so resuming Q&A portion for Unit 3. I'm going to go back and find some questions here. Oh, Beth just bought a Sunlight in Solo. That's awesome. Congratulations. It might take a week or two to get, I guess. Please note, sometimes the packaging might kind of smell, you know. Don't let it like deter you too much. You just might want to open it up in the yard. I didn't notice that too much, but we have had a couple comments on that. So just kind of let it air out. How to build your own sauna. Rosa bought some near infrared bulbs. So I had one friend who would just set up all the bulbs in a small bathroom and crank them, like cover the cracks of the door with a towel and just sit in there. Near infrared bulb, I think you're going to have to be pretty close to it from what I understand for it to work. Well, I could be wrong, I think. Yeah, I think you want to be kind of close to it. Some people do, you know, you see like a tent where it's a tent, little Rosa, probably the biggest thing I recommend is just Google it because there are different blogs on making your own sauna. Before sauna was like so popular, people were doing more like make your own type of thing. So I don't think we need to discount that. That is a way, so you can check it out. Do jumping jacks do the same as a rebounder? To some extent, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more on your joints, but you're bouncing, right? You're not going to get the same bounce as a trampoline because you're going to get more bounce out of it. But yeah, like jumping jacks, jump rope. Yeah, I think it's good. You could do squats. You know, all exercise is good for lymph. Squats are quite good. They put them in my morning guide. Doing like a wide leg squat because it's moving all the lymph around your groin where you get a lot of lymph. You can also just stretch. You can do like cactus pose. You can move your neck around. So I like, you know, this kind of thing. Chinese medicine, they do a lot of like this kind of goofy looking, just mobilizing the joints. So if you don't want to do jumping jacks or that's too much for you, you could just move your joints around, you know, spend 5 minutes, circle your hips around like you have a hula hoop on. Probably hula hooping moves lymph, really. So you can find like different exercises on like Chinese. I'll see if I can find you something. But, you know, just basically like arm circles, wrist circles, neck circles, all that stuff's going to move lymph as well. Are coffee enemas contraindicated if someone is sensitive to coffee? I asked for people who have done MRT testing and are reactive to coffee or caffeine. So I get this question a lot because people are sensitive to maybe not through testing, but they just are sensitive to caffeine. And they don't really want to feel caffeinated. So I'm pretty caffeine sensitive. I don't drink coffee, although I did start during COVID. I rarely drink coffee. It does give you some amped up feeling, but it's not quite the same as drinking it. But you are going to have some amped up feeling. You cannot go decaf though. There are other enemas you can do with like teas, herbal teas. I don't really know much about them. I like doing coffee, so I never tried. But there are those. If someone has a MRT sensitive to coffee or caffeine, they're still going to be exposed to it if they're doing an enema. So if you really don't want them to have coffee exposure, they shouldn't do it. It's definitely going to get into your system. So if you're avoiding it for a period of time, Sue, no coffee enemas, I would say. Maybe they can have it later when they come out of their time. Again, I am sensitive to caffeine. I still like doing coffee enemas. You may just have to try it. Try it a few times. You could also just do a half session. You don't have to have it in an hour. You could just do a short session. You have less caffeine kind of get used to it, or look up the ways to do it with tea. But they aren't going to work the same because you need the compounds in the coffee to help you recycle the glutathione. Sue is saying she's also heard that allergies can get worse when someone has low progesterone. Have you heard this? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I'm saying low estrogen, but it actually may be the low progesterone that I'm thinking of, because that's definitely going low, like for me now in perimenopause. So it may be the low progesterone and I misspoke. Beth is asking, she's concerned about detox reactions while saunaing, and should she buy a binder? She heard that charcoal shouldn't be used all the time. Yeah, charcoal shouldn't be used all the time. There's a lot of binders. We have 2 blogs about binders. So you can buy a few different binders and rotate. We sell the GI Detox, and it does have charcoal, but it also has like 5 other things. So it's not all charcoal. And then we sell a pectin binder that is gentler. So you could buy the pectin binder if you want that one. You may or may not have a detox reaction to a sauna, Beth. Some people do after 5 minutes. I've done sauna so many times, even when I was really, really sick, and I never had a bad reaction to the sauna. So it a little bit has to do with your detox capabilities, maybe your like phase 2 detox capabilities. I'm going to kind of look into broccoli seed and sprout as maybe like a good phase 2 detox thing to do instead of like the binder thing. So Beth, if you're working on detox, you might want to buy a few binders and just experiment. You certainly could do a binder the first time you sauna, or just do a shorter sauna. So just play around with it. If you're very reactive, Beth, like we talked about earlier, you might be reactive to sauna, but you also might be reactive to binders. So sometimes you have to pick. Some people tell me, I think we had someone in this group say, oh, I can only take like a quarter binder every other day. Well, binders aren't needed. There's so many options. So you could maybe do the broccoli sprouts, or you do lemon water, you do green juice. There's a lot of options. So see how you do with binders, Beth. Maybe try a few, buy a few. And then Beth is asking, should she do a binder when she has a coffee enema? In theory, it kind of makes sense, right? But, and I say you're pushing phase 1 detox when you do a coffee enema. So again, I'm just lately thinking about all this, but I think sometimes phase 1 you push, and if phase 2 isn't strong for you, you could get sicker. So I should like make a little note. Phase 2, how can I research phase 2 for you guys? So I've never needed a binder when I do, oh wait, let me take that back. I've had like once or twice the coffee enema didn't feel good for me. So I just stopped doing them at the time. It was weird because I always liked them. But there's been a couple times they just weren't a fit for me. They were too stimulating, or I felt more inflamed when I was done. I don't usually feel that way. So I think I wasn't clearing it well at the time. So you could do a binder with a coffee enema. I wouldn't say it, kind of like sauna. It's maybe not required. But if you like it, if it makes you feel better when you do it with the combination, then do it. I would also, like we said, make sure you feel good on a binder. Binder could make you feel worse too. I hate to sound like so complicated, but it's just because we're all kind of different with what feels good for our bodies. So, Beth, you might just want to experiment a little bit. Beth is asking, would you use lemon water, green juice, broccoli sprouts right before the sauna? So what I like to do when I do a coffee enema is make a green drink and then be drinking that in and out of my coffee enema rotation because it's very hydrating. So I think you could do the same with a sauna. I tend to do more electrolytes when I'm doing sauna. I think because I'm doing it more at night and I don't want to hassle with making a green drink at night, so I just do electrolytes. Broccoli sprouts, I would do right before the sauna, yeah. You could do a binder right before the sauna too. So try both separately and see what you think. Electrolyte recipe. I don't have one, but the Wellness Mama has one. And we're actually formulating an electrolyte, but it won't be out for like 4 more months at least. So ours is going to be fantastic. In the meantime, I like Designs for Health, and I like Ultima brand electrolytes, or you can make your own. Sure, Sue. Next week we're going to do some case studies, and we haven't made the little application form yet, but you're going to be getting it by email tomorrow. And just on the final week, I thought I'd do 2 or 3 case studies so that you can see with an actual person what I would suggest and kind of walk them through the thoughts on like how, you know, how I review a case and that kind of a thing. So we'll do our regular lecture, and then we'll probably have a little longer than usual Q&A. We'll take questions, and then we'll do the case studies. So yeah, again, I don't have a link right now, sorry, but you'll get it tomorrow. And if you want to be a case study, because you know you'll be live, you're okay to talk about it, and you have video and all that, you can sign up. And I don't know how many people will be interested, but we probably realistically only have time for 2 or 3, because it's probably going to take, you know, like 15-20 minutes per person. Thanks, Janet. So we won't do any testing. We'll just kind of talk out a case and go over your survey and your case. If you have some results that you wanted to share, you could share test results, but they won't be like a part of the case study. But that could be interesting. Yeah, if you have some test results you can bring to the table, that might be interesting. Beth, you'll always have access to the back end of the course. And I mentioned earlier, but I wasn't recording, that if I rerun this course live, I'll probably just invite you guys to take it again for free. Don't like quote me on it, but I think that would work out. That way, if people didn't get to this one live, that they could have another opportunity, or if maybe you've been working on things, you can check back in. Helena, no, if you buy the parasite kit, it's pretty all-inclusive. The only maybe exception is if you start to get constipated, you may want to add the digestive stimulator for constipation, but it doesn't make me constipated, that parasite stuff. It should be okay. It just, you might need to lower the dosage. So anytime, you know, basically anytime the supplement is too much, just lower the dosage. If it means you take it longer, it's okay. I hope that helps that. Okay, any more questions? So again, next week is home detox and kind of putting it all together. I think there'll be some fun resources for you. I know we had a comment last week about further courses. So when this course ends, if you have a suggestion or something you would like more about, you can suggest it. Oh, I was supposed to give away a Megaspore this time too, and I'm going to give it to Danette because she was on right away and used the chat right. So Danette, maybe if you can message me privately. Let me see if I can message you privately. I think I can. I get your address. So I wanted more people to come on live because it's more fun. So we decided to do a prize this week, and then next week we'll do another prize. So good job, Danette. So somebody else can win a prize next week too. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Helena, the parasite kit, we recommend 2 months. So you do like a whole rotation, then you take a little time off at the new moon when the moon is dark, and then you start again. So you take like 5 days off to make the parasites think that you're done, and then you get going again. It's really good to have it going during the full moon because that's when the parasites are the most active. So the parasite kit can rumble your stomach a little bit, but some of my clients don't have any problem with it. So Helena, I just buy one kit, make sure you're doing okay with it. And then you can always email us if there's any problem, but mostly just lower the dose. Like for me, I can take almost any supplement except these herbal digestive killers. They're very hard on my stomach. So the biocidin, hard on my stomach, parasite stuff, hard on my stomach. It just gets everything rumbling. Carly, do parasites come back often after doing the cleanse? Thanks, Danette. I'll copy this down for you. One sec. Hold on, let me take care of Danette real quick. Well, the problem is we don't have people testing their parasites. Like, Danette, can you message me your last name too? In the private chat. Oh, there you go. So usually we have people test once, they see they have parasites, and then hopefully they retest with us. Frankly, we don't even often get that second test because it's expensive. But we do see parasites go away on the second test often. I don't know if I want to say all the time, but pretty good and regularly. So do parasites come back in 6 months or whatever? Well, we don't really know because we're not testing. But, if you've killed it off, it should be gone. I can say for myself, I've taken the GI map a few times, and I've seen things go away and not come back. Like I've seen H. pylori go away, not come back. Parasite go away, it's not back a year later. Because I'm testing maybe more than the average person. Now, if you asked a parasite doctor, I don't think they would agree with what I'm saying because we're constantly exposed to parasites in our food supply or whatever. So parasite doctors, experts, will usually tell you to do a parasite cleanse twice a year just to get everything. I will also say that our test only tests for about 10 or 12 parasites and worms, and there's hundreds. So that's, testing isn't perfect until we have like the Star Trek way to like read what you have in your body. It's not totally thorough. But I will say that I think the parasite products are really effective. We get good feedback. They're well designed, that kind of a thing. And I have seen them go away. So you could consider doing a parasite cleanse twice a year, even if it's for a month. I probably have avoided that because of what I told you. Like, I don't feel great when I take that stuff. So I'm not excited to do it again when I don't know if I have something. So if you don't mind doing it, you may want to do it even just once a month, twice a year. If you're not going to do it very often, I would prefer you do it 2 months, like I told to Helena, to really be more thorough and just, get stuff, because they do hide. And in a month, I don't think you're always going to get it dead. It's not like a total exact science, unfortunately. So I hope that helped. Let me know if there's any follow-up question. Helena, you can start whenever. Maybe start at the new moon so that by the time you reach the second new moon, you take your 5-day break. So you're taking it for a whole month, Helena, all the bottles, then you're taking 5 days off. I think that's what we say it right in the shop. So just look in the shop for the protocol. If it's really hard on you, you may occasionally want to take a day off or lower it. I wouldn't recommend you go too loosey-goosey with it. So if you're doing well with it, to stay on it. But if it's a little rough on your stomach, I think you could occasionally take a day off or something, potentially. Sure, Helena. Yeah, just see the shop too and see if there's any other questions that come up. Again, anybody can use that coupon code, which is next steps, and just use it at the shop when you check out. There's going to be a sale on labs. You might have already seen it for $50 off. In some cases, $50 off is more generous. In some cases, your 10% off code is better. So you can only use one code at a time. The shop can't take two. So just use whatever code is best for you. The next steps code is good for labs or supplements. Awesome, guys. Well, we moved to this later time to get more people. I don't think it really worked, but we'll just stay with it, and we'll do the later time next week too, and we'll do the case studies. I think you guys will really like them. We'll look at that survey again and how you can use that to make your own plan. Maybe we'll take a few here and there questions about if you're trying to form your own protocol. And then we'll go over the house, which could be interesting. Hopefully you're already doing a lot of things to keep your house low toxin, but you may learn something new. So it should be fun. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for being on live. Danette will get you hooked up, girl. Bye, everybody.